question is regarding affairs. My husband had one, and it's been 2 years. And when you decide to like move on with your relationship, I'm kind of just curious. Like, it still feels so hard. You know what I mean?
Oh boy, have you guys had any professional help with that?
We started a little bit. We have 3 kids, so it's kind of hard to find time. And you know, that was one of the main reasons for staying together. But
Was the kids?
right.
Oh,
And then
you sound.
the other terrible part is it was with a friend, someone I considered a friend.
Oh, Lindsay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, how have you been able to stay together?
Well, so we had when it started, our kids were 2 and 4, and then while we were trying to decide what we were going to do after I had found out about it, it was about 4 months long. I got pregnant, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me say, people have varying opinions about this, but I want to thank you for making a commitment on behalf of your kids. And you should know that I and many of my colleagues that I work with on a regular basis work with couples like you all the time. And these kinds of crises can end up with the relationship going to a much better place. Real intimacy can be established. But oftentimes people are lacking a genuine connection. They, sex can be a cover for a real connection too. And you have to know, and so particularly with 3 kids, you guys have how many kids?
We have 2.
I mean, and just when it got in the way of your life too. I mean, you can imagine 3 kids. I had triplets for crying out loud.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But listen, my dear, I would say get professional help and hang in there with that, because this could end up in a very good place. He needs an assessment to figure out why he thought that was an okay thing to do. Sometimes sex addiction figures into this. Hopefully he's not that.
He had lost a lot of weight, and he was flattered. She started approaching him on Facebook.
Stay away from her. This is not your friend. That woman that you thought was your friend is not your friend.
Wow.
But but the fact is, think about the fact. Let's talk about this a little bit. That sex, while it can be good, can sometimes be a cover for intimacy, can't it?
I think it can if you're not talking and you're not really going there and you're not going through the fire, as I like to call it.
What does that mean now?
Walking
Describe
through
that
the fire?
to me.
Well, really, it's hard to describe it, getting down and dirty.
Together.
Together.
Like being willing to listen to each other's fantasies, dreams, desires, and trying to compromise and achieve.
Yeah, I think so. Like really
you're going to have
being
to tell
vulnerable.
me. You're going to have to tell me a personal story about being vulnerable.
I will, and I talk about it in my book. Absolutely.
When we get